everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, then welcome. Tanchiki Awamizumi. My name is Abigail, or Abby, Abigail Dishnikashon. I am Métis and autistic and love talking about autism stuff, so this is where I do that. And I apologize for the glare from my window in my glasses. There is no good angle, unfortunately. So, hopefully it won't be too distracting. I apologize. But yes, it is April, so I am once again doing the 30 Days of Autism Acceptance prompts. And today is April 8th, so today's prompt is, do you think, since the time you found out you were autistic, that society's views on autism has gotten worse, better, or about the same? In what ways? Okay, so this one's a bit tricky for me. I didn't really know a lot about autism before I got diagnosed. People where I was from didn't really talk about it. I had a couple friends who were diagnosed, but I didn't really get it because I was really similar to them, so clearly it was no big deal. Spoiler alert for past me, I was also autistic, and that was the reason I was struggling and constantly burned out. It was a big deal. I was just extremely oblivious. Yeah, if you have a friend who is autistic, and you don't get what the big deal is because they're just like you, go get yourself diagnosed. Learn from my mistakes. But yeah, before I was diagnosed, it was just a thing that I wasn't really aware of. Of course, my partner also says that I lived under a rock as a child, but I argue that the rock was a pile of Warrior Cats books. Yeah, I just wasn't really aware. I wasn't even really aware of anti-vaxxers at the time. Ignorance was really bliss in some ways. I hate being aware of the anti-vaxxers and seeing them online. I'd love to go back to not experiencing that. Anyways, when I was first diagnosed, after finally figuring that out, I went looking for info. And at first, all I could find was just doom and gloom everywhere. All of the official things I found were just parental divorce rates, lower life expectancy, higher rates of unemployment, just stuff that reinforced what I'd already internalized from my anxiety and burnout and just confirmed my suspicions that I was a horrible burden, which of course was never true, but I was in a really bad place. And before I found the autistic community on Tumblr, I love this hell site, all I got was stuff like that. Yeah, so over the first couple years after I got diagnosed, to me, it looked like maybe things were getting better when it came to society's views on autism. Like, again, I'd never really heard anything before diagnosis, but I went from nothing to straight into what felt like hell when I got my diagnosis. I don't know, maybe I was just in the wrong spaces and things weren't actually that bad, or maybe they were. I don't know. All I know is what I experienced was no info, all of the worst info, found Tumblr. Well, the autistic side of Tumblr. I was already on Tumblr. And then started seeing better stuff. It's really hard to say with how algorithmic the internet has been for the last... Before I got my diagnosis, yeah, the internet's been really algorithmic for over 10 years now. I got diagnosed 9 years ago. But it does, aside from me not being sure how to pinpoint what was actually going on because algorithms make a mess of things and I was just blissfully unaware. Outside of that, it does feel like there has also maybe been more representation in the last few years as well. Like, Atypical isn't great. I did only ever watch the first season, so I could be wrong, and then maybe it got better, but based on the first season, it wasn't great. But it was a bit more mainstream, and it did explain things better than some shows. Like, Sheldon Cooper is an obnoxious punchline, and Sam, I think his name's Sam, he is just a guy with some traits that I can relate to who is repeatedly let down by everyone around him in ways that just depress me, which I guess is an improvement over obnoxious punchline. And the fact that Sia's music movie got so universally panned, I think is also a good sign that people are a lot more understanding of autism and representation. I really believe that has to count for something. Oh, and Autism Speaks Canada fully shut down. That happened last year, and it's great. I love seeing hate groups die. But then there's everything in the States. I do feel that things have taken a turn for the worse again. Tylenol is getting demonized. I never saw that coming. The anti-vaxxers have fully brought back measles. I am so never having children if they have to share a world with that. It feels like a lot of the progress that seems to be happening is slowly getting undone, which is pretty sad. I've gone from being open about my diagnosis in past jobs to masking again. So I'm tired a lot more, but it feels safer. Hopefully things will bounce back soon, but in the meantime, I hope everyone stays safe. It's a scary world out there right now. I like to think that things were actually getting better when I was first diagnosed. I like to think that because that gives me hope that things haven't always been nothing but garbage and I wasn't just luckily in a small bubble. And hopefully that means things will get better again. Anyway, with that sad note, I think that's everything for today's prompt. So, thanks for watching and listening to me ramble, because I tried to script this, but I went off script quite a bit there, which hopefully didn't turn it into a nonsensical jumble. Thanks for watching and bearing with me. Merci pour ton temps. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again for tomorrow's prompt. Bye!